Should Wilson Odobert be Tottenham's starting left winger? For me, he's shown real promise in the last few weeks. Hasn't done enough to secure his place in the starting 11. So we'll be looking at how he's been performing so far this season. Whether he should be Tottenham's starting left winger, the long-term replacement for Min Son. So stay tuned to give your thoughts on that, because that's what I'll be doing by being as balanced and fair as possible. But first, if you're new, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Wilson Odobert's really impressed me. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. For me, he should be Tottenham starting left winger right now. I think it's absolutely criminal. I keep saying it, that the club didn't replace Min Son. We miss about 85 to 86 goal contributions from last season, and some of it isn't the club's fault. They can't control, Maddison and Kulusevski, and also Dominic Solanke being injured, but they could control selling Son, which I think was the right thing to do, but not replacing him. And someone with that kind of stature, I just think is crazy that he didn't replace him, and I think it's put pressure on Xavi Simons to perform. Because if he said to Xavi Simons, look, got 2 of 10s that are injured, and by the way, you haven't signed a left winger, so try and do both those roles, really. Try and pretend you can do both. But also Odobert's really impressed me, and for me, he's a player that has received unjustified kind of reaction from the fans, because last season was his first full season at the club, and he suffered a really bad injury. He was injured for the majority of the season, wasn't he? That's the thing, he's really young. He's still really, really young, I think he's 20, 21 years of age. And I just think he's got a lot to prove, and I really like Odobert, and I think he's shown real signs of promise this year. That's what I think, and I just see him now as Tottenham's starting left winger. And don't get me wrong, you've got Matisse Tell that can play there, haven't you? And you've got players that can play there. Simmons can do a job on the left, Richarlison can. And some would say, look, Harry, it's, Odobert maybe is a case of the best out of a bad bunch. Just having a look there. Yeah, he is, for now, at the time of recording, 20 years old. And he's very close to being 21. But the point is, he's a very good player. And he's formed a very good partnership with Matisse Tell for France under 21s. I think they're both different players. I think both of Odobert and Tell, you can go, what is their ceiling? But I want to focus on Odobert in this. And you don't know what his ceiling is. But what I do know is that he's shown real signs of promise. That Manchester United, he comes on, he changes that game. That's a very key assist he gets for Richarlison. He brings pace and energy down that left-hand side. In terms of long-term, I don't see Odobert as a starting player long-term. I look at Odobert and go, look, I think you're a really good player off the bench. I see it as the Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal, what Chelsea should probably have in Garnacho, and these type of player that comes on is dynamic, energetic. Maybe Fulham have at the moment a little bit in Kevin, kind of an energetic player. And I'm not saying the players I've listed have been used in the right way, but just sometimes you have players that are better off the bench. Maybe it could be Odobert. So for now, until January, I think Odobert should be Tottenham's starting left winger, depending on the business we do in the January and then again in the summer. I think over the course of the long term, based on what I've seen, I've liked from Odobert, but he's still very, very young. And right now, in terms of long term, if we had quality options, that's the thing. For me, I think he should be Tottenham's starting left winger for now because of the lack of quality options, because he's performing well. But over the long term, I see him as an instant impact, a sub, which I think would be fair to say, because without being horrible, I think if you look at our attack, compare it to other top six clubs, that's where we fall a little bit short. We lack progressive midfielders in midfield, and we lack a forward line. There's quality within that. I think Solanke could really thrive, for example, under Frank. The ball's going into the box. I think Kuda's been very good. I think Tell's improving. Odobert's good, but I'm talking about Richarlison, and overall is a very unfortunately average forward line with a few couple of bright performances and bright players within that. But for me, Odobert has really improved under Frank this year. I think again, I like Frank. But don't think he needs too much credit for that, although we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I think it's more a case of Odobert, you come back, you fought hard and earned your place in this team. And I just think out of anyone that we've got available, and forgetting about injuries, anyone that can play that position, I think Odobert is the best that you've got. I like him. I think we missed him against Man United. I think it was a mistake not to start Udogie and Odobert. Udogie, of course, just come back from injury, but that left-hand side was wrong. We lacked that balance. They worked together. So Odobert I just see as this dynamic, tricky winger. Sometimes too tricky for himself, but it's that end product that maybe he does need to improve, like a little bit of confidence. But I like him. I think he's shown real signs of promise, and he's not afraid to take on anyone. I like that. I have a lot of players. I like Johnson as well. I think he's improving under Frank and has changed some things. Don't get me wrong, but he's typically, the fans will say, he's afraid to take on a player, and I've defended him a lot, but I do see what they mean. So Wilson Odobert is a player that's massively improved, but to answer the question of the video that I put to myself, really, I think Odobert should be Tottenham starting left winger for the short term. I've been really impressed with him. I think fans should get behind him. I like what I've seen, and I don't think it's fair that fans just go, oh yeah, Odobert and tell. But these are two young players, and supporters need to get behind these players. And the majority of our fans are fantastic, if not all, but there's no need to get on these players' backs. You can just say, Odobert, you think we can do better, but people go really too far, and people forget he was injured the whole of last season. That's kind of worked against him, because people go, oh, I forgot about Odobert, is he irrelevant, or is he not going to be very good, is he? But the injury he suffered from making the move to Tottenham, the step up to Tottenham from Burnley, was just catastrophic for him. So it's been a really unfortunate first year, and I hope it goes right for him. We're seeing some good things. Odobert should be Tottenham starting left winger for the short term, and he has improved this season under Frank. So I answered a couple of questions there. But thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe, give them all in the comments below. Can we do better than Wilson Odobert? Are you happy with Wilson Odobert? We can always do better. Yes, I think at the moment, yes, but Odobert I really like. So we should keep starting games, and we do miss him when he's not there. Up the Spurs. You know I can't live without you.